everybody, and welcome back to another episode of What's the Word? I'm your host, Abby, and today we have a very special guest for you. Today we're joined with Kenda Wilcox, and Kenda, why don't you give us a little bit of background about yourself?
Hi, everyone. My name is Kenda. I am a Global Security and Intelligence Studies major graduate from Embry-Riddle-Prescott. I graduated back in 2023. I have nothing but good things to say about Embry-Riddle. It sounds really cliche. I'm pretty sure everyone that you interview says the same thing, but I'm super excited to be here and thank you for having me.
Of course, of course. And do you have a favorite memory from your time at Embry-Riddle you'd like to share?
I do. So I was in the sorority Alpha Zeta Delta, and I met a lot of amazing people in the sorority. I'm actually still really close with about 3 to 4 girls, and it's amazing. I think extracurriculars is such an important thing at Embry-Riddle to get yourself out there and join. And I was so lucky to be a part of a sorority and meet such amazing individuals who definitely are going to be lifelong friends.
Oh, that's awesome. And it's really good that you can take those connections and bring them into the real world after college.
Yes, yes, definitely.
Perfect. And now, where are you currently working, Kenda?
So I'm a trust and safety investigator at the company called Turo. Essentially, Turo is like Airbnb for cars. It's a peer-to-peer car sharing platform. I absolutely love it. Basically, what I do, I investigate and solve risk-related cases. So this includes fraudulent activity, missing vehicles, and kind of all trust and safety issues that could affect the safety on the platform.
Oh, wow. And I'm sure you've had some crazy stories that you could probably tell from that.
It's pretty crazy. I'm pretty busy every day. I deal with so much, talk to law enforcement, drafting case files, emailing. Can't reveal much information, but it's a very fulfilling opportunity and career.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yes.
And did Embry-Riddle kind of help you prepare? Were you able to take skills that you learned there and apply them into the real world?
Yes. So my major, obviously, global security, it applies so much to what I'm doing now, solving these risk-related cases, documentation, writing case files. Obviously, there's a lot of writing you do at Embry-Riddle, but it's more of kind of like a professional aspect where, you're doing notes and you're writing emails and all of these things that you do with class. And I've definitely kind of carried that over, especially with the classes that I took at Embry-Riddle. I think it was a great transition first job to start out.
Right, right. Oh, okay. And is there a lot of writing that goes into your job?
Yes, a lot. Like I said, yeah, there's a lot of writing case files. I have cases where, I'm recovering vehicles, so I have to make sure that I notate everything. I'm sending emails to coworkers, to my boss, law enforcement, stuff like that. It's a lot of documentation, but I don't think that there is a big difference coming from university moving into the workplace.
Okay.
Yeah.
And would there be a specific genre of writing that you say you rely on the most?
I would say it's definitely all over the place. We definitely have a lot of teamwork writing, communication. I feel like it's something different every day, but it all kind of just ties into, it's a lot.
Right, right. Oh, okay. And now I know you said you couldn't get too much into it, but can you give us what a typical day kind of looks like?
Yeah, so obviously I go to work, say hi to my coworkers, and then we're assigned out cases, basically escalated late return vehicles that maybe weren't returned back to the owner, or they're impounded with Border Patrol or something along that lines. And what I do is I work with the owner on getting the vehicle recovered. I might, talk to law enforcement to see if I can get more information on where the car is. I might have to help someone wait for documents from Border Patrol so that they can get the vehicle released. A lot of my job actually centers around contacting the people who unfortunately didn't return these vehicles. So it can be stressful at times, especially when someone didn't realize that they extended the reservation or something else happened or a crash. So It can be stressful at times, but I enjoy every moment. I learn something new every day, and I have such a great support system at work with my coworkers and my mentor. It's definitely entertaining.
Oh, that's awesome. And it's always so important to have such a strong support system at work.
Yes, yes, definitely. I love it. It's a lot of fun.
Very, very good. I'm glad to hear that. And so, have you noticed any huge similarities or differences in college life transitioning into work life?
Yeah, so I can say for sure, speaking on my half, is after graduating, you kind of get thrown into this workplace, area, and it can be tough. You go from school and doing your schoolwork being your main priority. Basically, it's your job, you're there to learn, you're there to get a degree, but you also have lots of opportunities to see friends, there's extracurricular activities and all these things. And you kind of pick and choose what you want your schedule to be. After graduation, obviously, you go into this where work is scheduled out, and it can be a bit lonely at times because you're not seeing your friends in class and you're not going to these extracurricular activities. So I think it's just kind of taking one step at a time. Obviously, you're going to get thrown into it immediately, but just try to center yourself. It like you've done so much after graduation, getting a job. You just kind of have to be grateful for what you have. And I do think the transition can be tough, but as long as you handle it the right way, you'll be okay.
And that is very good to keep in mind, all you current Eagles. And so, I want to circle back real quick. Do you have a favorite part of your current job?
I do. Okay, so I know I've highlighted my coworkers a lot. Seriously, can't speak enough about them, but I'm gonna have to go with just the cases that I'm dealing and I'm working with. I know you briefly asked me, how does my degree play into it? And I think with what I'm doing, what I'm investigating, what I'm learning, the cars that I'm recovering, how I'm working with law enforcement, that's probably my favorite thing. I didn't think coming out of college that I would get a job that fit perfectly to my degree. And I was really, really lucky to be able to get the opportunity to work as an investigator with Turo. So I'm going to have to say, even though I just kind of spieled it all out, I'm going to have to say the work that I'm doing and the cases that I'm investigating is my favorite part. It's something new every day.
That's awesome. Very, very rewarding, I'm sure.
Very rewarding. Yes.
And I'm sure especially so when you find the car and you get to return it to its owner.
It's amazing. It's the best feeling in the world, especially if, you've done all this digging and investigating and then all of a sudden you find it and you get to get it back to the owner. The reward of someone thanking you, for finding their vehicle and getting everything resolved is amazing.
Right, right, I'm sure. And so when you do find these vehicles, is there any kind of report you have to write afterwards?
Yeah, so we have basically a case that's assigned to us when we find out that the car is missing. And in our case, I have everything documented, all of the calls that I've had with law enforcement, all of the interactions that I've had with hosts, which is the owner of the car, and all of the interactions that I've had with the guest, basically, hey, you need to bring the vehicle back, or oh, the car is at this location. So, lot of documentation. It's a lot of information that you kind of have to go through. And then at the end of the case being resolved, you kind of have to explain, well, this is how the case was resolved and this is the outcome of the situation.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yes.
And so I'm sure you were able to take writing skills from a writing class you took in Riddle and transition them into being able to write those reports.
Yeah, I'm gonna highlight Saquella, Alan Saquella. I took two classes with him and we had to write some reports. And I think that a lot of what he taught us and a lot that I learned from that class really applies to what I'm doing today in my job.
Awesome. Do you wish you would have known anything before you left Embry Riddle and you went into the workplace?
Yeah, I think one of the things that I wish I had done more is just enjoy every moment. You really have to put yourself out there at Embry-Riddle, at college in general. Do what excites you. If something is interesting to you and you want to learn about it, go and do it. If that's what you want to do, then do it, I think college is really about learning who you are as a person. And I was lucky enough to figure out what I wanted to do. And I'm very lucky to be in the job that I'm in today. So I think that's something that all current students at Embry-Riddle should know is just do something that excites you. College is all about learning who you are as a person.
Right, right. Oh, that's awesome. This kind of ties in a little bit, but do you have any advice that you'd like to give our current Eagles?
Yeah, soak it all in, literally enjoy every moment. I know a lot of people, especially when I was still at Embry-Riddle, is, oh my gosh, I want to graduate. I want to get out of here. I want to leave. And I think you really just need to take it step by step, time after time. Go to professors' hours. Always make sure to go to those. I think that I wouldn't have, struggled as much in some of my classes if I had taken the opportunity to go to professors' hours. So if there's an opportunity to better yourself or get yourself out there socially, do it.
And that is great advice. Thank you, Kenda. And that wraps up this week's episode of What's the Word? We want to thank you for listening this week. If you are new to our podcast, feel free to find us at Spotify, YouTube, or Apple Podcasts. But before we go, we do have a sneak peek of what's new to come on What's the Word. We have taken on a new co-host. His name is Owen Smith, and we just wanted to give you a little preview of what's to come. Here's Owen.
Hello everyone, my name is Owen Smith, and I'm super excited to let you know that I'm your new co-host for the podcast. A little bit about myself: I'm a mechanical engineering student with a defense studies minor here at the school. I am from Southern California, and in my free time I love reading, especially the works of J.R.R. Tolkien, as well as Larry Niven. When I'm home, I love scuba diving. I'm a certified dive master with PADI, and I also really enjoy traveling. I've been to 13 different countries, a lot of Western Europe, as well as most of North America. I look forward to joining y'all on these podcasts, and I hope to see you soon within these next few weeks. Have a good one.
And we are so excited to have Owen on our team. Be sure to stay tuned in What's the Word for all the exciting new things to come.
This podcast is supported by the Department of Humanities and Communication at Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University in Prescott, Arizona. Abigail Bradbury is our host and producer. Matthew Haslam is the department chair. And I'm Amelia Chesley, assistant professor of professional writing. The intro and outro music is Wanderer by Alex. Many thanks to the Prescott Campus Writing and Design Lab for hosting our transcripts. Find us where most podcasts are found, and please do reach out if you are a Prescott Campus alum. We'd love to feature you in a future episode.